I'm gonna make a quick video about that guy, David Falcaro, who is the Sogobujutsu guy. Um, he and his teacher, Ed Smith, who's now like something like Saluhaddin Mohammed or something, they claim to have studied a style called Takagi Shinryu from a guy called Katsumi Tanemura, who never existed, obviously. Um, what happened after that was the guy, Edward Smith, Saluhaddin Mohammed, claims that he was given the name Akihisa Tanemura, which is, of course, two last names. Akihisa is the last name, Tanemura is the last name. If it wanted to be a first name, it would be Aka, not Akihisa. You know, someone probably was just Googling and messed up the spelling, and once you're in a lie, you can't go back on it. But now that guy is claiming that he has no connection to David Falcaro and this ninjutsu stuff. What the hell's my camera? Looks like it. Oh, stay still. So anyway, there's a video. The whole thing rests on David Falcaro using the word soke wrong, because he's like, oh, I'm the soke, that means I'm the head of the family, which, if you founded your own school, you may be the head of the family, but you're not a soke yet, because technically there is no family because you haven't passed it down. You're the shodai soke after you die and you've passed it to someone else. That person is the iemoto, which means inheritor, or the nidame soke, or just soke, he would be called while he's alive. This camera is sinking. But yeah. The style itself, it looks like what they did was take information that already existed. They took like Katsumi Toda or someone who was popular in the 80s for writing ninjutsu books, and then they took, Shoto Tanemura. And they also claim that Katsumi Tanemura's name is also Shoto Tanemura, which is weird because Shoto is like, it's not a variation of Tsunehisa, like just changing kanji and reading it a different way. It actually just means like law of the sword. So it's not a given name. So someone wouldn't. So the idea of two people with the same last name choosing to take the same first name is just weird. It's like I can't. There's not even like an equivalent to it. But now this guy is saying, oh no, that never happened, even though it's in a book that he wrote, and he's mentioned it a few times that this was his teacher for Takagi Shinryu Jujutsu, or Aikijujutsu, actually. So they took the Takagi thing, because there's so many branches. There's Takagi Ryu, there's Takagi Yoshinryu, there's Hantai Takagi Yoshinryu, there's Yoshinryu, there's all this stuff. But there is no Takagi Shinryu, it doesn't exist. So they were just, it looks like what they were actually doing, and given the fact that Falcaro trained in the Genbukan before he made up his own crap, it looks like they took something that existed, tried to change it slightly, took names that existed, tried to piece them together, and then tried to pass off this history. But there's so many holes in it, and it's just retarded, and their techniques suck. Their techniques are just pure garbage. It's like the fakest thing that I've ever seen. A lot of people are like, oh, he's a good martial. No, he's not. He sucks. It's garbage. It looks like someone saw videos of what Soke does and didn't understand it, but tried to get their students to go along with it, like, oh yeah, if I'm touching your wrist like this, you should just fall over because, there's... No. When you have those techniques done to you for real and you feel, it's not just, it's not this. There's a difference between what's actually going on and then when someone who knows what they're doing does it to you. It's not the same. But, yeah, this guy is just an idiot. And then another thing to touch on quick, Chris put out a thing, and Anthony reposted it, and it's like, oh, I talked about all these uzugakure and all this stuff, and people are claiming that it's from a children's book, but I was talking about it in 2004, before the Bansen Shukai was published, and I said this is from the Bansen Shukai. It's like, well, the Bansen Shukai was published well before 2004, and well before Anthony came out with his, and just because you're posting something that was from the Bansen Shukai doesn't mean the author of the children's book didn't get it from the Bansen Shukai, which he did, which he of course says. So, unless Chris wants to converse in Japanese, and we've seen how amazing his certificate is, how perfect that Japanese is. and how he pronounces the name of his school and stuff. He's a brilliant linguist. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And then David Falcaro is also talking to Anthony. I don't know why he obliges the frauds out there. They suck. They're not only not good martial artists, but they're also just complete liars. It's stupid. You know, you're in Japan. You have real people there, and you associate yourself with Chris and David Falcaro and all these people who are just complete liars. Doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. I'm sure the liars need you because they need somewhere to take information from, because none of them read Japanese. So they need your books in English so they could pretend that they knew it all along. It's a cycle.